most of the people I interview, I do what's called a career planning session. I kind of want to forecast their future with them, and I can't do that until I get to know them. We have a little calculator. It's the cost of wait. Maybe it's been 2 months, maybe it's been 10 days, maybe it's been 2 years. Whichever, I'll show you what that time has cost you. There's only one answer, and that answer is, yes, I do have one question if you don't mind. Would you like me to start today? I have all my tools with me, or would Monday be better? Our customer is not students. Our customer are contractors that are looking for top shelf talent. Matter of fact, they're involved with the creation of our programs. I don't know if I'm going to make it to the next payday. World out for you, and it begins with just quick 12 weeks of training.
Of course, I'm a little biased because I've been doing this for a while, and I absolutely love this school ever since I started as a facilities technician way back. The environment, the atmosphere, the people, that's the reason I never left when I was going to move.
Welcome to Trades Ready, a podcast dedicated to helping you get ready for the trades with Quality Training Center, your trade school in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Trades Ready. We've got a different style of guest with us here with us today. We've done a student that's currently in class. We've talked to a graduate that's gone out to be successful, but now we've got one of the guys that's a gear in the machine. He's part of what makes everything run so well, and he's a great advocate for students. This is Rich Horwitz. He is our admissions director. So he helps with getting all of you guys out there that are listening and watching us right now. He's going to help you guys come in and get started. And we're going to talk about how to get in contact with this man here. We're going to talk a little bit about his history to see how he came about to be a part of our school and some of his experience that he offers for you guys. And then we'll talk about what the process is once you come in and doing a tour and the whole gambit here. So as you guys are looking, you can get an idea of what you're going to be going through whenever you come in to finally do that tour and see us to kick off your new career. So thank you so much for joining me today, Rich.
Absolutely.
Pleasure to have you. I know we have a lot of fun at the office as it is, so I know this is going to be a great time. So to kick things off, let's talk a little bit about your history before you came into quality. So whereabouts do you think you started to kick off this career? Where were you whenever things started changing for you?
Well, I think it happened at Second Life. Second Life, first life was the Navy, which I served 23 years in. In fact, my trade while I was in the Navy was a machinist. Great thing about being a machinist, at the end of the day, you get to hold up and show off what you've done for the day, which is nice. I mean, I was manufacturing all kinds of parts. Same thing happens with HVAC and electrical and other future programs that we'll have at the school. You get to brag to your friends, I've been in that 7-Eleven, that 7-Eleven. I've been over there at CVS. And you know what? It's kind of nice knowing that the work that you've done has a function or a relief, and it's no longer a problem. So I really enjoyed my time in the Navy. I got voluntold at one point, which is kind of like volunteer, to serve as a Navy recruiter, and really fell in love with that also. It's just helping people change their lives. And that was important to me. In fact, my legacy project is making lives better than current reality. Current reality is, gosh, you wake up in the morning and you go to sleep at night and nothing really changed during the day. That's current reality, and I'd like to get people into future reality. And so I got out of the Navy and I was told, all right, Rich, either you're going to own a staffing company, which I did at one time, or you're going to get right into college recruiting, or how about opening up a bait shop, which I had no interest in. So I jumped into working in a staffing company for a while, and then eventually someone said, "Hey, you know what? If you don't think that you're doing all that great, helping other people out, why don't you consider schools?" Jumped into a school, and I was I wouldn't call myself a traveling salesperson, but boy, did I put some miles on helping people by doing home interviews because I was the field high school representative for a college back in Utah. Matter of fact, in Utah, I worked at 3 different colleges. In my second career, like I said, post-Navy, I worked for 8 different institutions, and I've worked in all positions except for what Aaron does. I've never been an academic dean, but I've been a financial aid director. I've been a high school recruiter. I've been a director of admissions many times, a campus director, a regional campus president, and all kinds of things I've done in my past. But I work with a gentleman that I worked with in the past. His name is Chris Roth, and I've worked with him on and off now for the last 8 years. In fact, he moved me out here. I was living in Kentucky, and before that, Pennsylvania, and before that, Utah, and now I'm here in Las Vegas helping people change their lives through career-focused education. So That's a little bit of my history.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, first of all, as another Navy guy myself, thank you for your service. 23 years is quite a chapter to put into that. So Thank you for that.
Well, thank
definitely.
you. Thanks for yours.
Absolutely. And then working with people, improving lives, a career for recruiting individuals for the military. That's an amazing start. And then you just kept going schools and schools and schools. So quite the track record.
Very similar job, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So would you say this is the first trade school you've worked for? Or?
Nope. I've worked for another one here locally. I've worked as a campus director there. And I've worked for other schools that had trades as a theme. Whether it's medical, I consider that a trade. Not necessarily like what I'm currently doing, but
a little different, but still.
I've had schools that had facilities management, few other things, and it seems like the theme of today's world is how can I get ahead, not just get by. I find that most of the people I interview, we talked about current reality a little bit ago, but most of the people that I interview, and I do what's called a career planning session. I kind of want to forecast their future with them. And I can't do that until I get to know them a little bit. And so one of the first things I do when I invite people into the campus is get to know them. And before I even do a tour. The tour is very important because if they can see themselves doing it, they're right. Just like Henry Ford once said, if you can't see yourself doing this, you're right. But the positive point of view, in my opinion, is if you can see yourself doing this, you're also right. And that's what I do with the tour and the career planning session. But my real objective in life is to help people get ahead. And, as we face our current reality, some people are surviving. And surviving could mean, gosh, you know what? I don't know if I'm going to make it to the next payday. And I meet with people like that all the time. But I want to change their world into thriving. And thriving is when you don't look at your bank account, you don't worry about taking your family out to dinner. Those are not on your mind anymore. What's on your mind is you've got a great job that has a great future and upward mobility, security, even pet insurance at some places, which I've only used once at one of the places I work at, but I make fun of it all the time because who doesn't want pet insurance? But you have to have a pet for it. But the big deal in today's world is there are positions that will always be in demand. In other words, I can't live without power at my house. I've got a computer, TV, everything else that everyone has. If we didn't have electricians, I'd be in a tough bind if my power went down.
For sure.
Same thing with my HVAC, which was repaired today, not by yours truly, but somebody came out there and determined what was wrong, and they're coming back with replacement parts. But we can't live in Las Vegas without cooling.
Absolutely
and God forbid, on the 2 days a year that we're freezing in our homes, the heater works. So, very, very essential jobs, and I love that those are available. We have upcoming programs that will be approved in the near future, hopefully, and that will also help people be able to run their garbage disposal or flush the toilet or take a hot shower. I'm not going to tell you what that program is. It's going to be announced. But then we have people that like to build, and somehow they have to fuse that together. I'm not going to tell you the name of that program, but that's coming soon also.
Yes, sir.
But the thing that I really enjoy about Quality Training Center is the fact that it's not about our students, which is the weirdest thing to hear until you totally understand it. So I don't like students. I've never liked students. I like future graduates. Once again, I'm back into what Henry Ford said. If you believe that you can't, you're right. But the Rich Horwitz story is, if you believe that you can, you're also right.
That's awesome.
So here's the thing. I want everyone to know that our customer is not students. Our customer are contractors that are looking for top shelf talent. Matter of fact, they're involved with the creation of our programs, what we teach and how we teach, and what supplies and what labs that we have to create. And it's really kind of neat to have that type of relationship, because basically they're already telling us who and what they want their new hire to be. And knowing that ahead of time, it gives our graduates such an advantage. In fact, they're only going for a job interview just to go through the motions. But with our recommendation of the contractor's needs, if they go there armed and dangerous with a resume that we help them create, with their tool bag that is loaded with tools that already have their fingerprints all over them, and they're experienced tools, kind of like the best kind of tool that you can have. Those are always great for you to show off or share with your new future boss. I teach people also, and have for years and years, how to get hired by asking the right question, because there will be a question at the end of the interview, which is simply, do you have any questions for me? I love that question, because there's only one answer, and that answer is, yes, I do have one question, if you don't mind. Would you like me to start today? I have all my tools with me, or would Monday be better? And I'll tell you what, that is so powerful.
Absolutely.
To that person that their regular job is not interviewing people. Their regular job is out in the field or managing the business. And to have someone ask for the job that deserves it, that went through the training, that was basically partnership developed with our contractors, it's a win on all corners.
Absolutely. So such a rich history, pun intended.
Yeah. Well,
such a rich history of working with different programs, of different schools, working with all kinds of different people to help change their lives, get them on new career paths, and a lot of different ways. This isn't the only way you've done it. So that's really exciting to hear more of what you're bringing into the table, especially being a tradesman yourself.
Right.
Starting, like you said, in the Navy, moving out and working on a new kind of trade, getting into other schools, and then finally here we have you at our location, and I don't think I've seen nearly as many students come through these doors. I haven't seen these phones ring nearly as hard as they've been ringing since you showed up.
We have really made it busy, and busy is good. Busy makes the day feel like it's only an hour long.
Busy is a good problem to have.
And that happens out in the field, too.
Absolutely. So getting into your position at the school. So they're listening right now. They're hearing what we have to say. They're getting some expertise from how we're going to be operating, right? So whenever they need to get a hold of you for your career planning session that you were talking about, what is, let's do like an order. What is the best way to contact you? What's the next best way? And then we'll throw in a third one.
Okay.
If the other two, why not this?
I even have a fourth one. But
okay, let's do them all.
We may not talk about the fourth one, but I will say it starts at 1 o'clock in the morning. 1 o'clock in the morning, I don't know if it was a bad dream. I don't know if you just woke up because the TV went off. I'm not sure, but a lot of inquiries come in the middle of the night. An inquiry is you filling out a special form that is requesting information. And maybe you're open-minded and you're not sure what you want. But we always get questions about tuition. We get questions about how long your program is. What do we get out of it, and things like that. That is that midnight self-talk. And then through your self-talk, you jumped on the computer and you completed a form. And every morning I come in and I always time check what time did this person inquire objectively? Because we don't inquire without wanting to know information. So by inquiring objectively, here's a person that I'm going to call at first thing in the morning and say, hey, I just recently received information that you're looking to book an appointment with me. I'm very assumptive because I think people want to be directed into their decision. Okay. And, I am the guide on the side. I'm never the sage on the stage. I can pretend to be, but you know what? I want to be there as someone that's a wealth of information, important information. I try to put people into future reality as quickly as I can. It's very painless. But that's the number way of getting in touch with us. We have another way, and that is for people that don't like to fill out forms and on their computer, but our phone number is right there, and you're welcome to call us. Mm-hmm. We'll take your call right there during regular hours, and regular hours for us is about 8 a.m. to about, for Las Vegas time, I would say it's about 11 p.m. because I do have one of my advisors. She actually works out of Hawaii. She's worked for career or for our school for 5 years. In the past, she moved to Hawaii and she's moving back here. But right now, with that time difference, she's a great virtual helper for us. And
lots of opportunity for them to reach out. Just by phone, even. So.
Yeah, we're not likely to miss a phone call. But if we miss a phone call, there's a third method, and that is just walk in. And I enjoy meeting with walk-ins because they were fearless. Everyone has a fear of the unexpected, and I try to wash those away in my first conversation over the phone. But sometimes we get a walk-in, and walk-ins are always nice. You see up here on this sign, we always have parking for future students.
Absolutely.
But I do want you to know that if you do walk in, your time is ours, our time is yours. We'll take you around the campus, and I'll do a career planning session, find out why now. What's changed in your life that you decide to dedicate some time to education? And keep in mind that our education is designed around short-term learning for long-term careers.
Awesome.
Yeah, and everything that we offer and will be offering is a career. It's not a job. Job stands for just over broke. If you've never heard that before, I've been using it for years. It's not copyrighted, and you're welcome to share it with your friends that are in the job world.
They might hear it once or twice, because I think I've already used it on a previous podcast. So you guys are probably going to hear me.
Even better.
Some of my phrases were stolen from different mentors I've had. And Rich coming in, he's always, you guys are going to hear so many different phrases. Sage on the stage. Yeah. Like, these different phrases are so fun, and I've definitely stole a couple from you.
Well, I don't mind. Nothing's copyrighted until I write my book. But here's the thing. I do know that those that are brave, there's a whole new world out for you, and it begins with just quick 12 weeks of training, 4 hours a day, 4 days a week in our HVAC program, 3 hours a day, 4 days a week in our electric program. And the great thing is the very first day, in my eyes and your instructor eyes, you're already a technician. You're just a technician under training.
Definitely. So a quick recap. Number one, always available. Time doesn't matter. Anywhere you're at, you're on vacation somewhere, rethinking your career or whatever, you can always go on to qualitytrainingcenters.com and put in an online inquiry. And just like he said, our team is going to reach out to you guys as soon as they get those messages. If it's during working hours, you're probably going to get a phone call really quick. If it's outside of working hours, I hope you weren't up all night, because 8 a.m. comes sharp, and they're going to call you soon. So,
and someone may just begin a conversation with aloha.
Yep, we definitely, the Ninth Island, Las Vegas, we've definitely had several people from Hawaii out here. Second option, if you don't want to go online and do the forms, some people prefer the human aspect to get that conversation rolling. So give us a call, 702-597-0861, and get Rich here or our other lovely lady, Jasmine. Get one of these people on the phone with you so they can start answering these questions and start helping you figure out if this is a good fit as you're coming into these career planning sessions, which leads us right into that third option he mentioned, just show up.
Just walk in.
We're not going to turn you away. We got plenty of time and plenty of staff. So even if Rich or Jasmine's busy, I can pop out and start helping with career planning. Donna can start helping. Lonnie or Chris definitely could. They're usually in the back offices, but they're more than willing to come out and help students as well. So top to bottom, open door policy. Come see us and let's get this ball rolling. So let's say they've already picked one of these methods and now they're coming in to see you. They're going to sit down and do the career planning session you were talking about and a little bit of a tour. Yeah. So as they show up,
let me tell you a little bit about the tour.
Okay.
If it's all right. So a tour, really it's designed for you to see what you'll be learning, what you'll be learning on, who you'll be learning with. I'll introduce you to potentially your first instructor. And the whole idea behind the tour is so that you can picture yourself doing this. But I'm going to show you some things. I'll even have you turn on a motor, which is always shocking for some people because it has a high RPM, revolutions per minute. But I'll show you what the guys are currently doing in the class. And here's the great thing. When I'm walking someone around, the instructors know that you're there checking out their program. They'll stop and they'll spend a moment saying, Rich, who's this young man? Who's this young lady? And they start bragging about their program, which is great. It gives me a chance to not talk and give the instructor a chance to kind of brag about his program. And I always ask the instructor, hey, can you explain to this person exactly what you're teaching the students today?
Right.
And that gets a little bit descriptive, and I love it because they're going to be in the class eventually at that point, and they're going to remember that timestamp. Oh, yeah, Rich took me around here, and the instructor started talking about this particular course.
I love that you brought up that they'll get a chance to meet their instructor, and it also circled right into you get to see the excitement these instructors have. I can't think of a single instructor we have that's not passionate about what they do. And they're excited to get to know people with our kind of family environment, a little different than most really strict schools, you know. I think they're just as excited this could be my student. I need to start meeting this person now. That way when they come into class, maybe I can already remember your name. Maybe I already know a little bit about you. And that really adds a comforting segment as you're stepping into a new chapter of life. You're going into that uncomfortableness you've talked about. You're taking that big step. You're being brave and going down this new path. And I think I love so much how much our instructors will just hop in and be a part of that. And they're not just instructors. They're part of everything we do. They're not in the dark, just go teach, stay in your classroom kind of thing. Right. They're always involved.
And some of our instructors, when I introduce someone and I say, and right now they're looking at all programs. That's when they get a little bit competitive. Oh, you definitely want to be in my program, and here's why. I love that. Yep. So it's okay if you don't know what exact program that you want to enter. Like I said, my job is to put you into the future, get you in that thriving modality. And sometimes it's nice to have an assist. Sometimes I do get surprised at the end because I'm expecting someone, I'm pretty sure that this is a future electrician, as an example. And then they pull the rug and say, nope, hey, I really like the HVAC lab, and that's what I want, right? So you may come with one idea in mind and leave with another, and that's totally cool with me because I want you to be happy in the education choice that you made. This is your future. This is not a job. This is a career. So.
Yeah, I also like you brought up that once they find out they're looking at multiple programs, the trades person inside of them is like, oh, wait a minute. Just like Navy, Marines, Air Force, Army, we've all got our little pokes, you know, everybody's Marines eat crayons, and the Air Force is the Air Force, and of course a bunch of colorful things for Navy as well. But it's the same for the trades. The electricians, the HVAC guys, they got their little banter, the plumbers with their banter.
Sure do.
So that's where they're like, no, my trade's the best trade, and I know it, and you need to be one of my guys.
They do have some nicknames for each other.
For sure.
I tried to use one once, and it was quickly corrected. I called someone Sparky, and he said, nope, I practice safety every day. You're never going to call me Sparky. I'm sorry.
There's definitely the people that they'll talk a little smack with you, go back and forth, have some fun. The other ones are just, they're just not having it. Don't call me that.
Yeah.
Like, okay. All right. We're not joking today. I get it.
Sparky is a term for electricians occasionally.
Occasionally. But be careful because not all electricians are going to like it, just like he said. Doing electrical myself, I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Especially being another hint towards the veteran thing. We always poke at each other.
Of course.
No feelings involved. We're just having fun. Things that are funny to say, but no one's trying to be of bad spirits. So
I will say this.
It's interesting.
In some of our labs, there are HVAC technicians looking at what our electricians are doing and vice versa. And I kind of like that also because it gives everyone a feel that we're all going to be working in a trade. Mm-hmm. And now I get to kind of see what you guys learn and do. And these guys are seeing what you are learning and doing. I think it creates a good camaraderie of, students. And like I said earlier, I don't like students. I like future graduates. And that's our goal, is to get you through the program, get you happily employed in a career that you deserve. And I say deserve on purpose because you put the work in. You deserve the career.
Yeah. Definitely. And on top of being able to mingle with multiple styles of students, start building resources and networking, word of mouth is huge. So the more people you can reach out to for assistance or for backup or to share jobs. Hey, I'm an HVAC guy, I got an electrical friend. They need an electrician. Let me call my buddy. There's so many different ways to approach that. And then you get the students that go through the full HVAC program. They're watching electrical for 12 weeks, and they're just like, wait a minute.
And they stick around for another program,
exactly.
Which is great because the more knowledge that you have, they say, there's a saying, and it's on the tour. I have a poster that says, the more you learn, the more you earn. And I totally believe that. So, if you enjoy learning, we'll give it to you. That's a great thing. And, in the future, we'll have other programs. And there may be a program that you've always been thinking about. Once you get out in the field, you'll see what your brothers or sisters in the trades do, and that may just be something that you also want to investigate. Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. I will say that I always try to have you bring in a support team, even if you're a walk-in or you booked an appointment with you. Bring your support team, whether it's a parent, a sibling, a best friend, or whatever. Come on in, and they may also be interested not only in supporting you, but also doing it themselves. So I'd love to interview 5 people at the same time. Almost impossible for me, but 2 people every day.
For sure. And I definitely, everything you're saying about these skills, like the more skills you have, in my opinion, the harder it is to not be successful.
Oh, yeah.
There becomes a new element that is you introduced. I've got these skills, I got these capabilities. So now it's you holding yourself back. And that's where you need to take another brave step and pick a path. Or if you've got that many skills, we have hotels and casinos all over this city. Oh. Be well-rounded. Market yourself as an engineer. Clean up that resume to do the same. And then go demand a higher wage that matches the knowledge and what you're going to be bringing to this new team, this new company to make yourself successful. But a lot of people don't necessarily realize it's a handshake investment. They're investing in you as an employee, paying you, doing benefits, whatever, making sure that you're doing your job, occasionally helping you with other curriculums, giving you more options to be well-rounded.
Upward mobility.
Absolutely.
In every trade.
And then at the same time, you are helping that company be successful. And so if it can be a good handshake, you get good leadership, you get good workers out here with good skills, then you should be making what you think you're worth. And if you're not, you need to start asking those questions. Why am I not worth that much? Because is it in your environment, or is it yourself, or is it because you're not having those conversations, which kind of ties back into self. But if you don't know what conversations to have, I almost can't blame you for it. You still need an outside source to be pushing. And that support group you're talking about, who cares who it is? It could be friends. It could be blood family. It could be a family you've built. I've built a completely different family, living way away from all my actual family. So that support group can look so many different ways. And another thing about that is we can also be a part of your support group.
Oh, absolutely.
Our resources, our network. Once a student, always a student.
Yep.
These are important things. So even if you're doing this by yourself, you are not. You are not by yourself. You've got a team here at the school that's going to help you out. You've got Rich here with years and years of experience. We've got business owners, years and years of experience. We've got guys that are career technicians that didn't want that. They didn't want all the responsibility, but they still took on some leadership. That's still cool. So much that we can offer under one house, under one roof. Yep. So even if you guys think you're out there by yourself, I can't tell you how wrong you are. And come in and talk to us so we can show you that if nowhere else, you have a support group here to help you build that career, get started, get in class, build the resume, get into interviews, and then if you guys have watched any previous podcasts, I know this is still an early one, but we've interviewed a previous graduate, Austin Callahan, that came out here, and he is just absolutely killing it out there. So and he came in and got a piece of the pie that I'm telling you guys about, and I'm offering that piece of pie to you guys as well.
So let me share this. When I am doing the career planning session, then the tour, I bring you back to my office, and we go through a packet. It's a packet of useful information and some very important information. One of the things that was recently created for our campus is a 100K blueprint. We have one designed just for electrical and one for HVAC currently. And it really is, it's your pathway to making 100K a year in any trade. But it is focused on our area, and there is so much happening that requires HVAC technicians and electricians. We have a stadium being built. We have a diamond arena for a future to-be-named NBA team. We have half a guitar right now in the Hard Rock. Looks like a fiddle right now, but it will look like a guitar before you know it. But all the development, Las Vegas is not getting smaller. It's getting larger and larger and larger, and it reinvents itself about every 10 years, maybe even quicker than that. But with all that is opportunity, and I go over that form and other forms with you, but there will be someone within 48 hours of me sending you this packet, home with this packet, that will ask, well, what else do they offer? Can I go to class with you? And like I said before, I'm the guide on the side, but I'd love for you to go through school, through the training with someone that you know, have some light competition on doing the project perfectly, whatever that may be. And we have plenty of them for you. But our whole game plan for you, if there is one, once again, just to move you from current reality to future reality, which is real and can be so beneficial for yourself or yourself and your family. So.
Definitely. You're one doorway away from changing your entire life, and for good or bad, depending on where you're going.
I don't think it will be bad. But
not for schools. No, schools is not the bad part, but they're just encompassing all options that everybody has. Everybody is one door away from a huge change. They also say you're 3 people away from anybody you want to know, no matter how famous they are. So with those 2 things in mind, why can't we get it done?
Yeah.
Why can't you open multiple doors and figure out which is the best for you, and then whoever's behind that door might be the person that's one step closer to the person that you need to meet to get what you need done. And it works similarly for the school. They open the door, they talk to you. You're the first person on the other side of that door to get them going. And then what else do they need? Maybe that's how you bridge the gap to Donna to start talking about financial options or other things, get her perspective. Or maybe that means they need to get in touch with me. Maybe it's a VA guy, and you're just like, hey, let me get you in touch with our VA rep, which in case I haven't mentioned that, I'm also our VA rep.
I can share some more on that. So it is possible for you to do so much of this online. You can complete an application. In my opinion, application just means intent. Mm-hmm. I'm intending to go to school. Don't know when, don't know which program, don't know a lot, but you'll find out. I'll help you with that. You can also schedule an appointment online, and you don't even have to be in Las Vegas. I can conduct these interviews, actually these career planning sessions over the phone. There's information for you to kind of see what our campus looks like online. But the next step and the important step is commitment. committing to yourself, your family, but mostly to yourself and to me a little bit, that you're going to be a future graduate. And we do that through an enrollment agreement. I talk about funding options that are available, and I'll save that for when we do meet. But if there's a will, there's always a way. And, part of the theme of what we talked about today is you can do it. You can do it, and I'm here to help.
To kind of piggyback what you were talking about, saying most of this can be done online. And that brings up a great point that I was thinking about as we're creating this content, as we're putting out more and more media, not just, I know these are going to be like on YouTube a lot, but we'll potentially also have an Instagram page that has a lot of our podcast information. So even as of right now, we've got videos on our Instagram that you guys can go look at. And we've got a speed walkthrough of the facility. So you can get a really, really fast look of what it looks like inside our campuses, get a sneak peek of those labs, and that might give you even more information. So even if you're hesitant online and you're just looking at that admissions form, that inquiry form, if you need to do a little extra research, that's 100% while we're doing this.
And some of it is quite funny. That's all I'm going to say.
There's definitely some fun ones out there getting some attention, but mixed in with the fun we have, there's definitely some things for you guys to get more of an idea of what to expect. We got some videos that display the tool bags and the tools you'll be getting in those kits. We've got the walkthrough we've talked about. We've got some interviews talking about student services and things that we can do to help. So as you guys are out there and going down that path, if the online is the way you want to do it, get some research done. Absolutely do your research. I encourage you guys, if you're not already on the Instagram or you haven't seen that yet, go to our Instagram, go to our Facebook page, and there's a lot of good content out there, and we're just pumping out more and more and more.
Absolutely.
So hopefully that can even give you more of an idea of what you're looking at before you spend that expensive gas to drive 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, depending on where you're living, down to our campus to take that scary first step of this might be the first day of the rest of my life that is completely different.
Very easy to find our campus. If you were to take a 5,000-foot view from using Google Maps, we're directly across the freeway from Area 15.
Yeah.
In fact, if we go to the back of our back building, we can see what's going on over there, the airplane and other things, the scary house. I can't even think of the name.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
Universal over there.
But very easy to find. And what Aaron just said, we're probably 20 minutes away from anywhere in town.
One of the most central schools, which is why I love our location. So hopefully as we move forward, we can stay relatively close because we're right off the strip, like you're saying, just the other side of I-15 from Area 15.
Area 15.
I was getting Planet 13 and Area 15.
Yeah, we're close there too, but I won't talk about them.
Yeah, they're a different industry, not what we're doing here. HVAC goes into that industry, but good options there. So as they are coming in, they've done some research, they've come in and done a career planning session, they've done a tour. What would you say is next for them after they've got the information and they've had that career planning session with you?
Great question. So I called it earlier, I called it commitment. That's complete your enrollment agreement. You're locked into a seat in class. We do limit the seats. We try to make it manageable. It's rare, but it has happened where we had people on standby. Don't want to do that to anyone, so always get in class as soon as possible.
Definitely.
We have a schedule that goes out an entire year. So if you're thinking about doing this because you have a trip to Europe over the summer and you want to start in August, we'll have a class for you in August.
For sure.
We have classes starting about every 6 weeks, depending on which time of day you want to be, because we do have morning classes, a midday class, and an evening class. And that's going to be up to your learning style, and maybe it's up to your current job, letting you out to get to class on time. We want you in class because class starts the minute it strikes 5 p.m. or 5:30 or whichever class that you're in. But the next step is that enrollment agreement that locks in your seat. The step after that is let's work out our financial or our funding situation, I do it in that order. Some people feel that well, we got to take care of our funding situation first. That's not always true, because as soon as people know that you're starting school, they want to invest in your success also. So if it's mom, dad, or Uncle Sam, my favorite uncle, we'll help you through those financial options also.
Awesome. So as they're coming in, we're tackling schedules. It's like, I feel like the two top things on everybody's list is, do I even have time for this in the first place? And if yes, can I even pay for this? Can I sustain?
Those are all the
get
questions.
this done?
So it's always time. Sometimes it's family. Could be daycare. You're taking kids to school. So time is always important. One other thing is, can I afford it? My answer to that is always, can you afford not to? And then finally is, can I see myself really doing this? And I call that self-talk. I mentioned that earlier, but once again, if you can see yourself doing it, you can do it. You just need a support team, and I'm part of it. Aaron's part of it. Everyone on campus is also part of it. We're there to see that you get through the program.
Yeah, success is the mindset, and we know it's not competition for us.
No.
Sometimes when you get out in the field, it's a little competition when you're learning, because whoever you're learning from, they're like, I don't know if I should teach this guy everything sometimes. So you're like, what do you mean you're not going to teach me everything? But we hold no secrets here.
Yeah.
A lot of our guys have already been out in the field, and that's why they decided to slow down, come in and teach a trade instead of do the trade. But that's also why they're great instructors at the same time. But lots of perspective. Let me tell you this story about this one time when I did this thing, and I will never forget this ever again, because this was what I did wrong. Let me tell you what happened, right? So lots of valuable experience, but as you're tackling these big questions, time and money, that's why we do these 3 programs. That's why we try to set these times up the way we do, is so our viewers, these future students that are going to become future graduates.
Thank you.
I knew you were going to get me if I didn't say it right. As they're coming in, the options. There's very few work schedules out there that wouldn't fit one of
absolutely.
the 3 times. I've seen them a time or two, but if you're working 5/16s, you don't even have time to take care of yourself, let alone pick up a new project. So there's very few instances when it's just like, man, but that's also where hybrid program potentially coming out. We've been working on it for a while.
Yeah, that's the future.
Yeah, it's still more in the future. So that's going to open up another kind of schedule for people that do happen to have that
crazy schedule.
Yeah, that's going to actually be a blockade. Some people they think it's a blockade, but when you start talking it out, it's like, no, you really do have time. You have to make some sacrifice, but growth, success requires sacrifice. You can almost do anything you want in life if you're willing to make the right sacrifices to get there. And there's so many successful individuals out there that, I never had a life. I didn't go party. I didn't drink. I didn't do anything. All I did is work for this amount of time. Well, no wonder you're making 6 figures, 8 figures. No wonder you're so successful in your career path, is because it's been a career since day one, and you went home and kept working, and you slept your work, and then you worked your work, and then you went home and researched your work before you slept about work again. And those guys have just gone above and beyond for sure. Yeah. So tackle that time slot. Come in if you need a little help. Talk to Rich, talk to Jasmine, and let's see what we can do to help this fit into the schedule of a busy life. That it's an adult trade school. This is not, it's not necessarily something that everybody is going to want to do, but it's a great avenue to go down to. But it's an adult school, so it's going to be a little different. It's prepared differently because we know that these are working people trying to change their lives. They've got busy families. They've got their regular job that they have to work who knows how many hours to make ends meet, which is why they're moving from job, just over broke, as you said, going into the career that's going to open up so many avenues, give so much control over their own life, give them so much more potential, not just for work, but in your private life as well. If you can get a good work situation going, then your hobbies can flourish, your side projects can flourish, your vacation time can flourish, because you put so much time into that career before you decided to go reward yourself for your hard work, which it's always important to reward yourself. Right. Definitely want to not leave that out. If you're working your tail end off, then you definitely need some downtime to recoup that. So don't burn the candle at both ends for too long, because you always get burnt when the wick meets the middle. So and that's another thing about our program, is for people burning that candle twice.
Yeah.
They have a better opportunity and a support group to help them get. We can do pep talks if we need to. We can transfer you to another program for hardships. If something comes up and something is suddenly a blockade in your learning, well, we need to make sure understanding is what you're getting out of it. Diplomas get you hired. Diplomas are great. But understanding is what gets everybody paid in blue collar. So we got to make sure we get that understanding, but we're flexible. We want to work with you guys. We want you to be successful. No one's just a number. We're not just trying to pump you through to graduation, because then the contractors that you were talking about that we focus on, they're not going to hire you. Right. They're not going to look at you twice, because you don't have the foundation and the skills that they're looking for. So it's very important. Pick the right class time, but as things develop, as things unwind for you guys going down this new career path, keep us on your team, keep us on your side, talk to us about what's going on, so we can help make that fit.
We do have backup plans. I mean, we do have a leave of absence policy. If we had someone recently that got hurt at his regular job, and he had to be put on a leave of absence for a period, and we're going to catch him right back up and insert him into the class where he had to take a break, medical break, but anyway,
he made it back.
Yeah.
And he's still going. So a hiccup happened, but sometimes we take 2 steps back to get around an obstacle. That doesn't make it bad, as long as we get around that obstacle to continue our forward motion. Some people are like, oh, I got to backtrack a little bit. Well, if you're running down a wall and you can't find a door, sometimes being 20, 30 feet back is going to give you a better perspective on how to move forward better. So don't let these roadblocks completely stop you. That's silly. Let's find a way to circumvent. Let's find a way to detour. Your career is on a detour when you come to a school, because you were down one path and, well, now I got to go take a different street to get to that end outcome. Detours don't make it bad. Yeah. Maybe it takes a little longer to get it done. Well, it just is what it is. The path is the path. So dive into it. Don't be afraid of anything coming up, and talk to the team so we can help you guys even be more successful.
We are part of your support system.
100%.
You have your family, you have your friends, but we're also part of it. And we are really at the heartbeat, which is, what do you want to do? What do you need to do? And we're the solution. Make sense?
Perfect sense. Yes, sir. Another great fact for that is no matter what support group anybody has, whether you got the biggest or the smallest support group, you've still got to drive your own career. I don't care how big of a support group you have. Everybody's going to want you to be successful. Well, maybe not everybody, but a lot of people are going to want you to be successful.
Some people don't want you to be successful.
Yeah, but that's not the people we want to focus on. The people that are actually trying to help you, no matter how much they do help you, you will forever care the most. It's your path, your career. You have to drive it. So even with a great support group, you've still got to be out there pushing. You've still got to be doing the work and putting in the time. Otherwise, I've seen people with support groups that did absolutely nothing, and it's because they're almost expected someone to kind of do it for them.
Yeah.
You know, hand-holding can be good up to a certain point, but baby bird's got to fly at some point. We got to kick you out the nest.
You got to leave the nest.
Yeah, we got to see you soar, and if you never take to the skies, that never happens. So eventually, you as an individual with your support group encouraging you, giving you moral support, giving you any kind of resources for extra education or carpooling. There's a million ways to see support in a career, right? But as you guys go, take the wheel yourself. Take the wheel yourself. They can help you get traction.
There's a song about that, but
right.
You're right.
Absolutely. Right. You gotta drive it all on your own a little bit, but we can be the wind in your sails. So keep that sail open, stay at the helm, but let us give a little push to keep you moving right down your path.
Yeah. We actually have a solution for just about everyone, and the solution actually is to a problem. And the problem is something that you can't get through oftentimes on your own. This is where we can really help out. Move from job world, move from surviving to thriving in a career.
Yeah, move into a different perspective of what success is. Success is different for everybody. Some people, if they don't make $1 million, they're not successful. Some people, if I don't help anybody in my job, I'm not successful. Some people, if I can't afford vacation, then I'm not. Everybody's got a different motivator. But whatever your motivations are, whatever you guys are doing, talk to the team. Let us help motivate you. Let us help you see the stepping stones to get you. Like, I know the path. I just don't know where to go for the path. Well, there's no signs out here all the time. We've got one up here, but real life doesn't always slap you in the back of the head and point you down the right direction. So,
right. And you know what? Some people have already been through this and got through this very successfully. If you were to drive a tractor and you went into a rut, there's only one way to get out of that rut, and that is to steer yourself out of it. Same thing with us. We're out here to help you steer your way through what you're dealing with now and hopefully what you'll be dealing with in the future.
Yeah, driving a tractor, driving a trailer. Yeah. Sometimes you've got support outside, but you're still in the driver's seat. You still got to hold that wheel. You're still hitting the brake. You're still hitting the gas. You're still turning that key to make it happen. But the support group's out here yelling at you. A little more left. A little more left.
Yeah. Stop.
Right. So that's our little bit about scheduling, right? And then the financial, the other big iceberg out here that we got to figure out. We need to hit it head on, but not the same way the Titanic did.
Right,
so.
Right. So with finance, there's many ways to get you financed for school. Because we are a short-term school with long-term results, you can't use a Pell Grant. You can't use Title IV funding, also known as the FAFSA, Federal Student Aid. But what we can do is we have third-party lenders. We have our in-house tuition agreement plan at a 0% interest. We have people that will just pay cash and get a discount for paying cash. But like I said, my favorite uncle, Uncle Sam, sometimes there's something available to the right student. There's other ways, but it all comes back to if you're willing to do a little bit of sacrifice for a short period of time, you're going to find yourself laughing at how little school actually did cost for the giant change. We have a little calculator that I don't mind sharing with students, but it's the cost of wait. I'm going to do that in the future. Yeah, I'm going to get around to that. You know what? There's always a cost to time. Some people say time is more valuable than money, and they often win that argument. And with our cost of waiting calculator, there's many people that know this quote, but I'll share it. The best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is today. You know, and that's how that calculator works. It kind of tells us by putting off your education now for how long have you been thinking about this? And maybe it's been 2 months, maybe it's been 10 days, maybe it's been 2 years. Whichever, I'll show you what that time has cost you. So make a decision. I'll support that decision either way. I'm here to assist you in success. So if we're not a fit for you and you're not a fit for us, we'll solve that also. So
absolutely.
Here to help.
So little brief overview for the financial side of things. There's lots of options for you guys to come in. It's kind of hard to dive into too much of the details on that thing because each individual has their own situation. So we could harp on these for probably more time than we have,
right,
just to talk about all the options and the ways we can go about it. But honestly, it's just better for you guys to reach out to us so we can get some more information from you guys, so we can hear your story, what you guys are going through, and then as that career planning, we can guide you towards the best options that we perceive for your situation. We can have that conversation. And then even if you have more questions or more reservations, well, that seems like a good option, but that's several of the conversations we have, right? So come in, talk to Rich, talk to Jasmine, talk to Donna. I can help myself, of course. Anybody is prepared to help you guys, but Don't sit at home and count yourself out. I'm a huge advocate for, if their job is to tell you no, make them do their job. Ask the question. Worst case, they're going to tell me no. Cool. You're not going to jail. You're not going to lose anything. They're not going to send you a fine because you asked a question that you might perceive as silly, but it might not be, right? So ask those questions. They won't approve me. Well, you haven't asked. So how do you actually know? Don't discredit yourself. Come in, throw us whatever situation you have. We've got students of all kinds of backgrounds, some fresh out of high school, some that's been down a career field for 10, 15 years, and it's just not going where they thought it was, so they're trying to change. Some people are coming from the complete opposite side, from white collar into blue collar, because they realize that's not what's for them. But some of these things are harder to find out unless you've got experienced individuals, subject matter experts, or someone that you can actually trust that's gone through the motions, someone that's went out and accomplished that. So beyond talking to the administration for plans, we can put you in front of the director. We can put you in front of instructors that have made careers, lifetimes out of these things. And then you can just throw your questions at them, and maybe they iron that out for you. Maybe they give you what you need.
Some people have been through this already. They know the way out.
Yeah, and that's a big point of what we're doing right here for this podcast. We want more interviews of individuals with unique situations that went through this differently. That way, as more and more people are watching, as more and more students are coming through those doors, they can have an opportunity to look and say, why don't you go watch this? Or maybe we can even put you in contact with that person. And like, if you got questions, they've got a similar situation, let me reach out to them. Let me see if they'd be interested in or be willing to take that phone call or come in and meet you here and talk to you, so you can get all the extra information. Previous graduate, gone out there for years, doing the dang thing, making the good money. If you need that one-on-one, the only way you're going to find it is if you ask.
That's right.
And not all tradespeople are just prepared to just stop and give you all this information. But from everybody I've met through 6 years working for our school, the majority of people that I've had the pleasure of interacting with are more than happy to share their experience, share their story, and be encouraging. We've got graduates that come back and try to talk to current classes.
Yep.
Hey, I just made my $5,000 paycheck for the first time in my career. I've been working at this company for X amount of time, and guys, it's just doable.
And sometimes it's 10.
And sometimes it's 10. If you're real hot, absolutely. There's guys out there making $1 million a year. Yeah. Most of them are salesmen. But that doesn't mean on the technician side, I'm not a salesman myself. I can't get out there and do that. I'm more of I'm going to fix it. I don't care what the problem is. I'm going to fix it. That's my thing.
That's a good place to be. Like I said very earlier, it's always nice to point out to your family and friends, I've been in there. I fixed their unit. I fixed their power. You become well known as someone that wears an invisible cape.
Oh, for sure.
We can't see that cape, but that customer is so relieved that you had the skill set to solve their problem.
Yep.
That's what you really are.
Sometimes they show gratitude in different ways, whether they buy you lunch while you're working there, they hand you a bottle of water.
Starbucks cards.
Starbucks gift cards. I've been handed cash before, being on a job for 16 hours a day, and the homeowner was just so impressed by what the company was doing that they came out and showed gratitude and so many different ways. And you're kind of a superhero, like you were saying.
Invisible cape.
In multiple
We don't want
trades.
you to wear the cape.
If they can't use their toilet, the plumber is the hero. If they can't turn on their dishwasher, if the refrigerator's not working, the electrician can maybe be that superhero to get power back to where they need. Or now the HVAC guy's got to come in because the electrician said the circuit's fine, it's the refrigerator that's the problem. Well, now you got that HVAC guy that's going to come in and save the investment. Groceries aren't cheap.
Yeah.
So when you're saving even just a residential refrigerator, residential box freezer, you are absolutely invisible cape superhero for some of these people.
We've had plenty of real life situations where the power grid was down. People lost their groceries, but believe it or not, in Texas, people lost their life. When it gets so cold, you're not used to cold. There's no power. There's no heater happening in your home. That gets to be a very dangerous situation. We can always put blankets on. but then they stop working.
Yeah.
And we don't want to take all of our clothes off to get arrested because we're hot in our house. So, or walk outside, oops, forgot to put clothes on. But nonetheless, you are the superhero that solves the problem, whatever that may be. And sometimes you may be a B-back because you got to go pick up some supplies. But the goal is always leave that customer satisfied with the work that you did.
Yeah, because that's going to lead into word of mouth. And word of mouth is, I'd say, equally as strong as the internet now, because one person talks to two people, talks to three more, exponentially your name's out there. I know when I first got started working with Loran, our electrical instructor, our first electrical instructor, I started getting phone calls from people, and I was just like,
how'd you hear
respectfully,
about me?
how did you get this number? Oh, well, you've worked with Loran, and they didn't want to pay his prices as a master electrician of 58 years, so 52. They won't. Yeah. Well, yeah, because he worked before he started his actual own business. So,
right.
But that's what, like, yeah, we thought you could do the job, and I'm like, Loran, how did these people get my number? Oh, they talked to Susan that you worked at her house, and I'm like, but why are they calling me instead of you? And like, they don't want to pay my price. Yeah. I was like, oh, that makes sense. They're gonna pay the guy that's a little more green behind the ears, but at the same time, he's working under Loran, so they just trusted me inherently. So, word of mouth is so powerful out here. So, don't burn any bridges. Not with customers, not with businesses. Don't do that at all, right?
Yeah. People are always watching.
For sure. So we've gone through the whole process. How to get a hold of us, what to expect when you come in, some of the things we're going to talk about, the support we can offer. Definitely, I get a lot of feedback from a lot of different people that when they come to our school, they just feel different. The environment
we do
makes
have
them
high
feel...
energy at the campus from every level. I mean,
I'm now the second loudest person on campus. I used to be the first.
I was afraid that I was going to be the first, but we've been out-voiced.
Yes, we have,
by others.
Which is not a negative thing at all. I love Jasmine to death, but
I wasn't going to name drop.
That I want to, because that's her energy. She brings just such a unique aspect into signing up. A lot of the time you go into a bursar's office, you go to the registrar's office, and it's an office setting.
Right.
And it feels very like, I can't talk too loud right now because all you hear is clicking in the background as all these people in cubicles are getting things done. But as soon as you walk into our school, nope, we did it different. This is a trades environment. It is loud.
It is not a library.
There's a lot going on. It's a little bit of a dangerous environment, so that's unique. We got to focus on safety. It's very important that everybody's got their safety glasses on. We got gloves. We got no closed-toed shoes. We're not wearing baggy clothes. This goes into a little bit of dress code that you guys might be curious about. But as you're getting around spinning pieces, if your shirt, if your hoodie, if your hair gets caught by a motor, 9 times out of 10, that motor wins, and we don't need that kind of problem. So safety is absolutely huge, but it just goes back into how unique the environment is going to be when you guys finally come in to see us.
When I take people around the campus, I remind them of the 3 tiers. And the first tier is safety first, accuracy second, speed last. If you ever try to reverse any of those, it's going to be a disaster.
You're not going to be successful.
Right.
Speed comes with accuracy and safety. So the more safe you are, the more accurate you are, speed comes over time.
Yeah. Your boss wants you to take as long as it needs, as long as you're doing it perfect.
And then the next time, it should be less.
Yeah.
You're going to learn from this experience, and the next time you're going to contribute in a new, more efficient, faster way. So the first time, just like HVAC, just like electrical, just like the trades we're going to be offering in the future, come out slow a little bit. Make sure you're doing it right, because the more confidence you build in doing things accurately will lead to you being faster at it. Not because you're rushing, not because you're cutting corners or doing poor practices.
Repetition.
Yeah, you're just going to be better.
Yeah.
And that's why you should be demanding more money after a couple of years. It's like, you hired me at nothing, and I've been here for a year. That's a year of experience. Let's talk about it.
You shouldn't ever have to wait a year because in most programs, as an entry level anything, you're going through a learning period. But after that learning period, that's normally the time that people get their very first pay raise.
Yeah, that 90 days, they might not tell you, but that 90-day probationary period is almost every single job that I know of. And they might not call it that, but in the paperwork, it states in the first 90 days, these things can or cannot happen. So
Right.
you gotta treat it like if you're an HVAC guy, you're still in the van.
Yeah.
9 weeks later, or 90 days later, I mean, the same amount of time you went to training, you've been in the field, and that's when they're like, okay, he's been here 90 days. We see what we've actually got to offer from this technician. And
we know
from
customer
there,
reviews. We know performance.
definitely.
Yeah, and don't be surprised if that pay doubles. I know people in the field that her pay was doubled
Yeah, get out there and
after
show
her
out.
break-in period, and that's what they called it there.
Yeah, humbly flex.
Yeah.
Humbly flex. Be out there showing them I know exactly what I'm doing, and I've got the confidence, but we're still going to be humble and good people about it because we need to be well-rounded. No longer is the day and age that you can just be the best at the job and they'll keep you.
Yeah.
If you're the best at the job and you're not meshing with the program, nowadays people are just going to cut you loose. They'd almost rather have nobody than someone that's just friction, you know? So it's not enough just to be good anymore. We've got to be rounded. We've got to be able to have these conversations. Communication, I've talked about probably multiple times in these videos. It's such a high valued skill that not a lot of people talk about, which is ironic because communication is talking, and we're not going to talk about communication. It's almost like Fight Club. We don't talk about communication around here. First rule of communication is we don't talk about communication.
and also just know that closed mouths do not get fed.
Oh my gosh, absolutely not. And that if I was an action figure, that'd probably be one of my phrases. You pull the string. And if you guys come into classes, I come in and talk classes, check on students, check on instructors, and that's definitely a phrase you'll probably hear way too many times
If
from
you
me.
have a question, ask it.
Absolutely. You can lead a horse to water, and I can give you a real big cup, but if you don't drink it, there's nothing I can do here.
Add salt.
Add salt. Make you demand the drink all of a sudden. And that's what your support group can do for you is add salt. And that sounds like a really funny phrase to say, add salt, but you're sweetening the deal. I know that's the opposite of salt, but adding salt to it makes you want it more.
Makes you want. Yes.
Yeah, it becomes less of I just want this, and suddenly it's like, no, I need this. I'm going to do this. All of a sudden you've got another tone that you're talking in. It's like, okay, I see you. Let's do it.
It creates that thirst for knowledge.
Thirst for knowledge. That ties right in with every other analogy we've been using. That's beautiful. So come in, get the good information, talk to us about it, and if you've got any questions, then I don't know how better to say it than get those questions out here. Who knows who else has the same question? We've dealt with so many hundreds, thousands of students actually through the years.
Yeah.
So not hundreds of thousands to be clear, but thousands for sure.
I think I heard recently 10,000 graduates have.
That's the number in my mind. It might be a little over, but 10,000 is the closest rounding. So 10,000 students in about 32 years.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and that number is just going to seem so
and
small
growing
as we
right
keep
now.
growing. We're just
My
going to
phone
keep
is
putting out
ringing.
more.
I'm getting
Absolutely.
inquiries, and you know what? I just want to help you get into class, into the career that you want and deserve, and change your future.
Yes, and it's all going to start right now. 90 days to a new career. Your future starts now. The old saying, today is the first day of the rest of your life. So every new day, you've got an opportunity to make a change, to do something different.
Yeah.
And if you're willing to make the sacrifice, then it's just going to happen. You just got to keep putting in the work. And that's the beauty of blue collar is whatever you're going to put into this, it'll pay out in dividends as long as you continue to pay. And it's almost like paying your union dues or church tithes. You got to keep paying in, and it's going to pay you back in the long run for sure.
We do have one poster at the campus, and I do have everyone stop and read it. It just simply says, one day or day one, the choice is yours.
Oh, man. What a beautiful perspective.
It's perfect. Perfect for anyone that I'm walking around the school. I'm not asking for a decision at that time, but I want them to understand people put things off and never do what they really were meant to do.
I know a mental trap I've been caught in before is tomorrow. That one day part. tomorrow I'll get this done. Tomorrow is not tangible. Tomorrow is not something that we can quantify in our heads.
No, do we know that it's ever happening?
Exactly. In the way the world's going and everything, there's just so much variable out there. So it just really boils down to, if you want to get it done, you need to get it done. You need to give it a date. You need to give it a time stamp. And then suddenly there's this mental pressure. I've got an appointment. Oh, I've got to be there on time. Oh, I can't focus right now because I've got 30 minutes to leave, but I want to get this done, but I can't focus on this because I'm so worried about getting there on time. Yeah. You've created a whole new evolution, a brand new event that you will put personal pressure on. It's suddenly, statistically, way more likely to get done because your brain has a time stamp for expiration.
Yeah.
And if you don't get it that day, then what mental turmoil are you going to go through that you missed your appointment? Because I know me personally, if I've missed it, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can't do that again. I got to reschedule, and I have to make it. And
don't reschedule, just come in.
Yeah. So, for us, for sure, just walk in. Don't do that. Just come see us. We'll make it work.
It was Eleanor Roosevelt who once was speaking, and she said, yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is the present. So look at the gift that today is. So give us a call today.
Oh,
we'll help you out.
And I can't say it any better. Give us a call today. So coming a little bit to a close here, we've covered such a great volume of information, including a little bit about who you are and the things you've done and why you're a subject matter expert and why you're the director for admissions and driving that to help more people be successful, but also into what to expect when they actually do come see you. When you come meet this man, what are you supposed to do? What's he going to say? What's going to happen? So a little pull back the curtain there to give you guys out there an idea.
It will be fun, too. Because if I'm not having fun, I don't want you to have fun.
It's going to be mutual fun either way, I'm sure. As long as it's really what you want, then I don't know how you come in and don't have a good experience. Honestly, we've got such a unique thing, and I really encourage you guys to come see it for yourself. So we've given them some stuff to think about, but I want another. I got one more tidbit. If you're going to give one piece of advice to that person, even if it's just one person watching this video and they're on the fence, what is the one thing that you would say to them that you would potentially tell yourself if you were in those shoes? What would you say to try to get them to think differently, other than all the analogies and funnies that we've got out there? If you were just having, look, all jokes aside, serious moment, what do you think that little shiny piece that you would give them would be?
Well, you never know unless you try.
For sure.
And we'll make it so simple for you. But that first step sometimes seems like it's a leap of faith. It's okay for you to take that leap of faith. I'll get you through this.
Absolutely. Solid. What a good one. I thought I was going to get you a little stumped, but nope. He's ready for it. I was like, I don't want to make it too complicated, but I like to get just a little bit at the end. A little tidbit, little something. I want your opinion. World knows I've got plenty of mine, but I want to hear from each of my people that come in here and I interview. Put a little bit of your soul into it. If it was you, and if you were telling yourself, this is what we need to hear, right? And I think what you said is such a solid statement right there.
Perfect.
If you want to know, come find out.
Yep.
And it's not as scary when you walk through and see smiling faces that are going to support you.
That's true.
Of course, I'm a little biased because I've been doing this for a while, and I absolutely love this school ever since I started as a facilities technician way back. It's the environment, the atmosphere, the people. That's the reason I never left. I was going to move, and I said, never mind. We're going to stay here. And I will never regret that decision for sure.
Good for you.
So thank you guys so much for listening in here on our Trades Ready podcast. I know I didn't introduce myself in the beginning. I always forget. I talk a little bit about me, but I'm so ready to get into everybody else I forget. So, again, my name is Aaron Clark. I am the academic director currently for Quality Training Center, and I am so excited to get any of you people in here to see what we have to offer, to start building that career plan to make a difference in your lives, in your family's lives, in so many different ways. And we are so excited for anybody that comes to see us. So remember, go online, do an online submission, or just give us a call whenever you are ready, and we will answer those phones or get back to you as soon as possible. And then, of course,
walk in.
Just show up the blue-collar way. Show up
Yeah.
and get a face-to-face interaction so you can get not just words and information, but a feel for that environment as well. So thank you, everybody that's tuned in. Thank you so much, Rich, for taking this time today and let me poke at you a little bit and get some more information. Some of these things I really didn't know yet. We haven't crossed, and some things I did. So this was very exciting for me. Very glad you've come on board. Very excited to move forward with you and see as more growth, more expansion happens. We're just on an interesting path as a school. Yeah. And I'm so excited for you guys to come in and join us on this journey. We got that simulated house you guys can come be a part of and see and do troubleshooting. We've got crazy hands-on labs. And like Rich has made a beautiful point, you just got to do it. You just got to come in and see it for yourself. You just got to take that scary first step to get out there, get information, and open that new door to see what's going to be behind it. And lots of times you open one and there's multiple doors behind it. So
packed.
Lots of options. You might think of the trades one way and come in and find out a new perspective to think of, oh, I didn't know I could do that. Absolutely. And this is the right path to start it off, build that foundation. So thank you guys again. Been a pleasure. I look forward to the next interview and getting more information out there for you guys. That way, if you are on the fence, hopefully this pushes you in the direction that you guys need. So reach out to us. Come in and see me. Come see Rich. Let's just do it. Let's just make it happen. Perfect. So thank you guys again. I hope you guys have a great day, afternoon, evening, wherever you are, whatever you guys are doing. And we look forward to speaking with you guys. So until next time, we'll see you in the lab.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Trades Ready with Quality Training Center. If you are interested in getting ready for the trades and looking for the right school for you, go to www.qualitytradecenter.com and schedule a tour. Don't forget to share this episode with a friend interested in the trades and subscribe.